Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Police told Kim Zolciak to stop calling isn't an emergency. Police have told RHOA alum Kim Zolciak to stop calling because, at this point, it is not an emergency. The mother of 6 is embroiled in a divorce with her husband of over a decade, Kroy Bierman. Yet things have been so dramatic that the cops are always being called. So, why did the authorities tell Kim to calm down on the calls? Keep reading for more details. For a decade, Kim Zolciak and Kroy Bierman were an extremely happy couple. He had adopted her 2 older daughters, Brielle and Ariana, from her previous relationships. They then went on to have 4 children of their own and had the perfect little family. Unfortunately, Kim loved to gamble and shop, leading to financial distress. In 2022, their lavish Georgia mansion faced foreclosure, but they dodged it until early 2023. Then, it all resurfaced, and they faced an auction. Once again, they were able to get out of that, but a short time later, they filed for divorce. Allegations were thrown at one another, and though they tried to reconcile, that did not last. The police were soon called to their home, becoming a repeated event. She alleged he would not let her leave their driveway while he was at the end of his rope. They were locking themselves into bedrooms, and their poor minor children were the casualties. Just before Thanksgiving, the police were called yet again. Since their home is headed to auction, they were packing and taking down the curtains. Kim Zolciak claimed Kroy Bierman was the aggressor, but he alleged she struck him. Their children could not necessarily corroborate Kim's story, but the police want Kim to stop. A Reddit thread was started to share how they had to let Kim know they could not keep coming to Kim's home simply because of divorce spats. Followers felt awful for the children, but moreover, could not believe this was still happening. The big question that followers want to know is whether will it ever end for Kim Zolciak and Kroy Bierman. This has been going on for nearly 2 years with no end in sight. I can't believe this is still ongoing. I think there is some weird-ass codependency and trauma bonding with them at this point. Any relationship she has ever been in or will ever be in will end this way. She is a terrible person. It took Kroy a very, very long time to figure it out. The level of selfishness exhibited by these two, who have like 6 children, is despicable. Quit calling the police over this petty crap. Grow up and act like adults. Hopefully, some resolution is reached so that they all can find peace and the children stop getting dragged into the drama. Do you agree that the police are not needed as mediators and Kim and Kroy need to work this out as adults? Finally, can you believe their divorce is still going on? Let us know in the comments below. Kim Zolciak, known for her role on The Real Housewives of Atlanta and her penchant for drama, was once again the subject of headlines. But this time it wasn't due to a feud or a glamorous event. In fact, it was because of something that the public might find a little, well, surprising. According to reports, the police had to tell Kim Zolciak to stop calling them, saying her issues weren't an emergency. For a celebrity used to a life in the spotlight, where every misstep, every conversation, and every move is scrutinized, this was a different kind of attention. It wasn't about fashion, reality TV drama, or high-profile relationships. It was about what might seem like an everyday issue, but in Kim's world, took a more chaotic turn. It all started one evening when Kim dialed 911 for the 3rd time in as many days. Her calls seemed to revolve around her frustration with her personal life. Whether it was a disagreement with her estranged husband Kroy Bierman, an ongoing dispute over finances, or just feeling overwhelmed by the pressures of her celebrity life, Kim reached out to law enforcement for assistance. And while it's not uncommon for celebrities to feel the weight of public life in ways that others can't quite understand, the police felt the need to set some boundaries. In one of the most bizarre interactions, the 911 dispatcher reportedly told Kim that her complaints didn't meet the criteria for an emergency situation. The police officer even allegedly visited her home, offering her some advice. "Ma'am, if it's not a life-threatening issue or an immediate danger, please consider other ways of addressing your concerns. It wasn't long before the press picked up on the story, and the headline, "Police told Kim Zolciak to stop calling. Isn't an emergency," went viral. The incident sparked a mixture of sympathy, concern, and a fair amount of ridicule. Fans of the Real Housewives franchise expressed confusion over why Kim, a grown woman with a successful career, to navigate her personal challenges without involving the authorities. For Kim, the calls to the police were perhaps just another indication of the pressures of fame. With her lavish lifestyle often on display, it was easy for fans to forget that behind the glam and glitz, there's a real person dealing with very real struggles. Was it possible that Kim just needed someone to listen? Or was there an underlying issue that needed to be addressed outside the realm of public spectacle? Regardless, the police weren't the only ones speaking out. Kim's former co-stars, including Nayland Leakes, who had famously clashed with her on the show, didn't hesitate to weigh in. Some were sympathetic, understanding the isolation that can come with the life of a reality TV star. Others, however, couldn't help but offer their own commentary, with a bit of sarcasm added in. "Maybe Kim just wanted a little bit of attention," one of them quipped. "After all, that's what we all do when we're feeling a little lost, right?" What many didn't realize, however, is that Kim had spent years building her brand around a persona of wealth, beauty, and confidence. To the public, it appeared that she had it all, until cracks began to show. Her marriage to Kroy Biermann had been one of the most talked about aspects of her life, especially with their blended family and subsequent financial troubles. As their marriage started to unravel, so did the image of the perfect, happy family that Kim had so carefully curated. Whether the breakdown of the relationship had pushed her to seek out attention from law enforcement or simply made her feel that there was no one else to turn to is unclear. It also didn't help that Kim's social media presence remained active throughout the entire ordeal, further fueling speculation about her state of mind. On one hand, she posted glamorous photos of herself in extravagant outfits, all while sharing cryptic messages about resilience and empowerment. On the other hand, there were odd posts that hinted at struggles, particularly with her children and her ex-husband. "I just want to protect my babies," one caption read. It was a puzzling mix of content, leaving many fans unsure of what to think. While Kim may have called the police several times, it was clear that she wasn't dealing with an immediate threat in the traditional sense. In the eyes of the law, her calls didn't constitute an emergency. However, that didn't mean that there wasn't a larger issue at play: emotional and mental health crises. After all, don't always follow the conventional definition of an emergency, yet they are just as important to address. The reality star's behavior might have been a cry for help, or perhaps she was simply overwhelmed by the challenges of balancing fame, family, and personal turmoil. After the incident, Kim faced significant backlash. Fans expressed concern that she was misusing emergency resources, while others empathized with the difficulty of being constantly in the public eye. It seemed like a clear reminder that even those with money and fame aren't immune to the same struggles as anyone else. Being a reality TV star comes with its own set of challenges, and some of those challenges aren't easily managed by just snapping your fingers or hiring a team of assistants. Though the story eventually faded from the headlines, the incident prompted a broader conversation about mental health, the effects of fame, and the responsibilities that come with public life. Celebrities, much like anyone else, sometimes need help navigating their problems. But perhaps next time, rather than calling the police, Kim Zolciak, or any celebrity, might consider reaching out to a therapist or a support system that doesn't involve flashing lights and sirens. In the end, while Kim Zolciak's 911 calls might not have been what one would typically think of as an emergency, the incident did highlight the pressures and pitfalls of a life lived in the public eye. Maybe, just maybe, it was a reminder that behind the cameras, the makeup, and the perfectly curated social media posts, there's a person just like anyone else trying to figure it all out.